So today I just wanted to talk about the movie Patema Inverted. Give my thoughts on it. So I guess I'll just start talking about like the things that I liked first. The concept of this movie was pretty good. Like it's an interesting concept, which is the idea is that there's sort of like two worlds. Okay, um, thanks to some experiment that went wrong, uh, it caused gravity for a group of people to be inverted. So some people would fall up, essentially. Um, so a lot of people they fell into the sky and then into space, I guess, and they died, obviously. Um, but there was also a group of people that managed to hide underground during this, so they didn't get thrown up in space. And I guess when they have kids, their gravity is also inverted. Um, but yeah, see, I like that concept. It's a pretty nice concept. Um, but the way that they use it is just really boring. Okay, so it's okay. So the movie is about these two people, AG and Padma. Uh, AG is from the regular world, the world where gravity is normal, and Padma is from the world where the gravity is inverted. And it's just it's a pretty cliche story about two characters from different worlds coming together and forming a bond and a friendship. And that can be done well. I don't think it was done well in this film. I don't think the characters actually spent enough time together to properly form a friendship, um, which eventually does blossom into a kind of the beginnings of a relationship together. I just don't think the characters spent enough time. Um, they share about maybe the movie is 90 minutes long. I'd say they share about 30 minutes together, so a third of the film together. And I don't think that's long enough for these characters to truly understand who these characters are, why are they communicating with each other, and why they have found a liking for each other. It's just not long enough. But yeah, I now there are I had a few issues with this film, which really dragged down my enjoyment, and overall it just being a pretty cliche, boring film. But I'll talk about like the actual things that happen in the film and what I didn't like about them. Uh, so after these characters meet, after AG and Padma meet, they obviously because Padma is from a different world, there is some sort of uh, evil government uh, group that wants to take her and experiment on her and you know learn where she's from and what she can do and use her, things like that. Um, and that she gets captured. She gets captured by these people, and it makes the rest of the movie just feel like a big rescue mission that really isn't very interesting. Um, like there are also like some very strange things that happen in the movie, like things that just they shouldn't happen. Yeah, there are a lot of story elements that just shouldn't happen. For example, there's this the villain has an army um, of just like the people who live underground. They call them bat people because obviously the gravity is inverted, so they will be walking on the ceiling for them. Um, and this is part where a member of the villain's army is is in the city. Like he manages to get to the underground city where all these people are living. But as you see later in the film, the villain doesn't actually know where the city is. So it doesn't actually make sense why this member of this army was in the city. I mean, hell, I can even see. Okay, sure, he happened to find it, but then it's never explained. You know, if he got out, and if he did, why didn't he tell his superior? Why didn't he tell the villain? Because like that would just clean off like half of the movie. The villain wouldn't need to find out where this underground city is. He would just go there because his subordinate was already there. Um, but yeah, so like it just does not make sense. Um, and the conflict in the story is really cliche as well. It's really boring. Um, you so you got the villain, and you I'll talk about later why I just call him the villain. But yeah, his motivation is, oh hey, I'm evil. I'm a bad guy. That's his motivation. So hey, there's these people that are different to us. So we got to capture them, or kill them all. This it's just very very cliche. They're different from us, so we must go after them and kill them. It's yeah. Um, okay. Now I'll talk about why I keep on calling him the villain. I do not believe his name was said once during this film. It was not said ever. What am I meant to call him? It's just very strange to have the main villain be nameless. And I don't even know his occupation. I don't know his position in this world. He must be some sort of high-ranking member of the government. He has his own army, but it's never talked about. I believe the film was based on a light novel, so maybe it's expanded upon in that. But yeah, they do not explain it in the film. And so the villain also has, the generic right-hand man, who does a bunch of the dirty work for him. And he's there. He's a character. Well, I wouldn't even call him really a character. He's just a piece of animation that is there to take up space. He's for some reason he just kind of hangs around, and although he does like during the story, he kind of shows that he doesn't want to do these evil things, but he still goes about them. But at the end of the film, guess what? I'm a fucking good guy now. It comes out of nowhere. Like, he was obviously content with doing these evil actions, even though he did not agree with them. But he's suddenly a good guy now. And it just comes out of nowhere at the end of the film. And there's one other character that I have a huge, huge problem with. And they only showed up for about a minute in the film. I don't know her name either, but she was a student at AG's school, and it kind of she stands out. She's not just another regular student. She does stand out. She stands up to try and talk about something, but then it honestly seems like she's gonna have a bigger part in the film. But after that, she just doesn't show up again until towards the end, where she's like, "Oh hey, look at this stuff in the sky," and once again, that's. It seems like she was meant to be more important in that moment as well, but there was just nothing. And I don't know. She's just once again, I would hardly even call her a character. She's just somebody that's there. She seems like she's meant to have a friendship or maybe even some sort of crush on AG, but she doesn't show up long enough to be able to explain that, you know. And then finally, because this is a film based on gravity and, you know, the rules of gravity and the way that, you know, it's inverted for some people. Some of the ways that the gravity effects are used are inconsistent. For example, there's this part where AG and Patema are up on this big, it's like this big thing in the sky where obviously it's because it's got inverted gravity because Patema will stand on the ground while AG will fall away from it. And there's this Patema has got this weight with her, which is it's from her world, so it will pull her into the sky, or in this case, it will stick to the ground. And that weight also has a chain attached to it. Naturally, you would expect that the chain, because it's attached to this weight, would also be laying on the ground. But no, it is affected by the same gravity that AG is affected by, and it just looks out of place. It looks strange. It looks like the chain is hanging up. And it's just very annoying once you notice it. And there's one part at the end of the film where AG and Patema are both facing up. They're both facing in the same direction, which, unless one of them is upside down, which one of them was not, that would be impossible. Like, they would not be able to, you know, be facing the same direction, both be facing up. It's impossible within the rules of this film, but it happens anyway. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's annoying to see that a film would try to start up these rules for their gravity, because that's the main part of this film, gravity. That's the main sort of like the difference between these two characters. But it's annoying to see them break their own rules so many times throughout this film. And yeah, it's just, but yeah. One other thing, the animation. I've heard people say that the animation is amazing. I would not agree with that. The backgrounds, like the environments, one of the major parts of the sky, those look beautiful, sure, but they're static. They're not moving. The actual characters, the things that you're meant to be focusing on, this movie came out in 2014. Okay, they look like they came out of a regular TV show from 2014. It's just not. It's not consistent with the rest of the quality in the film, like the rest of the artistic quality in the film. Altogether, I wouldn't say this movie was necessarily bad. Like, it wasn't horrible. There weren't extremely glaring things. It wasn't a bad movie. But I wouldn't recommend it to anybody either. So yeah, like, if you want to watch it, sure, go ahead. I would not recommend it, and I would go in with low expectations. Maybe that's why I didn't like it that much. I went in with some sort of expectations. Maybe that ruined it for me. I'm not sure. But I just generally found the film boring, uninteresting, and cliche.